Hey everybody. It is Sunday, July 23rd, 2022. It is time for me, Nancy the Disorderly Stitcher. This is the 5th time I've started this, and I have no idea what's going on. It's like my camera is so flippin' sensitive today. So, yeah, what the heck? So, I'm really hoping this works. You know, sometimes technology is a pain in the butt. So anyway, today we're going to talk about progress. We're going to answer a question about jelly roll rugs. We're going to take a look at some haul. I have some wall hangings pulled if you want to, so you can see those. And I had to redraw our giveaway winner because she never contacted me. And we're going to talk about giveaways. Okay. All right. So the first thing I want to address is the question about jelly rolls. So we did discuss what a jelly roll is. Okay. You can buy a jelly roll, and the jelly roll will contain 1 2.5-inch strip from every print in that collection. You can, if you're a quilter and you have a stash of 2.5-inch scrap strips, which I do in a drawer over there, you can make a scrappy one, which one of these days I plan to do. I'm going to make 1, 2, 5, whatever. Or you can, if you have yardage in your stash that you're really dying to cut into, said no quilter ever, go for it. Okay. So anyway, you need the jelly roll and you need one of these. All right. Now you can cut your own batting, knock yourself out. When it comes to things like this, I am the convenience person. All right. So this is 2.5 inches wide by 50 yards long. You will not use all 50 yards depending on the size of your jelly roll. But I keep the ends of my jelly rolls. So then when I get enough pieces, I stitch them together and I use them. Okay. So with that being said, those are the two, and you need your machine and you need your thread. You need a machine that will do straight stitch and zigzag. Okay. I'm not getting anywhere near this computer because I'm afraid it'll wig out. All right. So I am not going to give any specific instructions. And the reason I'm not is because it would step on the toes of the designer. However, I have linked a tutorial, a YouTube tutorial done by Erica Art. And she was given permission by the designer of this pattern, okay, Jelly Roll Rug by Roma Quilts, to do the tutorial and post it on YouTube. And honestly, I used the tutorial a lot. I read the pattern, then I went to the tutorial. Erica does an excellent job. All right. So, and I've given rugs to people and they're like, you want me to walk on this thing? I'm like, yes, I want you to walk on this thing. It's a rug. All right. So the first one I ever did, I had jelly rolls sitting in a drawer for ages. And for a while there, I was collecting 1930s reproduction prints of, like feed sacks. And I thought, okay, I got to use some of these. So the first one I did was using one of those. I kept it. When I use thread, I use something neutral, light gray, dark gray, whatever, because I really don't want to use I don't want to go buy a bunch of colors that I'm probably never going to use again. Use a jeans needle. So there you go. So this is it. I don't know if I showed it before or not. Okay. And there's some tricks and tips that Erica will tell you. You've got to make sure you keep it as flat as possible. You want to feed the strip that you create with your jelly roll and your batting roll. You want to feed it from the right, because if you get the big part of the rug in the throat space of your machine, you're going to run out of room. And it does take some time. So for example, I take the time to put the strips together. Then I have to take the time to create what I call the giant worm, because you have to create the tube, okay? And then it takes time to create the rug. Creating the rug is probably the least time consuming part. I also recommend that you have wonder clips, because what I do is I will fold what I need. I do what I need to do to create the tube, and I wonder clip a length down, and then I feed it through the machine, and I enclose the batting in the fabric, and then I stop and I wonder clip a length. You know what I mean? That type of thing. Once I start creating the rug, it's pretty brainless. The big trick when you're creating in the rug is to keep it as flat as possible. And if you try this and you have any questions, let me know. I will try to answer them. But like I said, I can't disclose a whole lot, because it would step on the toes of the pattern designer. But watch Erica's video. It's awesome. And when I make a rug, every time I make a rug, I go back and refer to it just as a refresher. It doesn't hurt. What do we do before YouTube? So anyway, this one sits at the door in my laundry room coming in from my porch. And, I washed it the other day so you could see it clean. It's not perfectly, because people have walked on it, and that's okay. That's why I made it. So I have a few more that I want to make. I have a couple I need to make for people. So that's my jelly roll rug. All right, so I hope that answers your question. So let's talk about progress. I have my book of days. I keep forgetting to pull this out. So yeah, I spent some time sticking stickers in it, and a lot of it's the same. I'm not the neatest record keeper, but so I finished Blue Skin. I showed you that. Finished the red marking sampler. I've been cutting a quilt. I started a couple pieces, cross stitch pieces. Went to a sale. Told you about that. So yeah, that's really my progress. My brain is starting to slowly shift into school, because school will start 1 month from yesterday. Please don't get me wrong. I love being a teacher. But it's not what it was when we were kids, unfortunately. All right, so that is my book of days. Sometimes I think I sticker it more than I do anything else. All right, so let's talk about progress. Progress or haul? Haul or progress? I don't have a lot of haul, so let's do haul. All right. So I have what's called a big board. It's a big ironing board. It's a piece of plywood. You set it on top of your ironing board. I have it on top of a cabinet, simply because I don't have space for this cabinet that holds all my scrap strips and an ironing board. I don't have room for that. So we got the cabinet at IKEA. My husband painted it red, best color in the world. And then I set the big board on top of it. And you can Google big board. It's like 50 some inches long by 20 inches wide or something like that. And so, you can buy covers that are just muslin, and it has batting and a couple layers of batting underneath between it and my cabinet, or between the cover and the board. Well, I decided I wanted to try and cover it again. So, I went and I ordered a couple yards of Lori Holt decorator weight, like this. So my husband is going to help me lay the what's this stuff called? Fabric down. And then I bought some batting, and you have to use 100% cotton batting. If you use a blend, your batting will melt when you iron on it. So anyway, and of course, where did I look to find out, get some hints and tips and things like that? YouTube. So I will try and link to a couple board cover YouTube videos. But that's one of my goals in the next week, because he's off. He took this week off, and part of the reason he took it off is because it's our local fair week, and he's going to be working at the Cub Scout stand with our grandson, making smoothies in the heat. So anyway, that's going to be my new ironing board cover. I'm pumped. And I might see if I can get my mother-in-law to make me some curtains for in here. I don't do curtains. She does curtains. My mother-in-law learned to sew from her grandmother, who worked at the local shirt factory. And that shirt factory used to make shirts for Harry Truman. So there is your little trivia for the day. And if grandma didn't like the way you sewed it, you tore it out and did it again. So my mother-in-law, when our oldest was little and we didn't live, 2 houses away from each other, I would call her and say, hey, I don't understand what this pattern says. I would read it to her. She'd tell me what to do over the phone, and everything was good. So that's part of my haul. All right, let's see. I got this in the mail. I bought this off of someone on my cross-stitch stash unloading list. Back to my history geek out. So there's a lot of pretty patterns in here. I have to be careful and show you. And they're very muted colors. Blackbird. I'm learning to love the blackbird. This is probably the brightest one in the whole book, but it has the quilt block in it. And yeah, so I don't know what I'd do with it, but what the heck? You got to have patterns. Here's a pillow that they did with the eagle. So yeah, Sweet Land of Liberty. All right, so that's that. My husband and I had to go pick up a couple quilts that a gal about 45 minutes away from us did. She has a computerized gamel, and when I want something done with like Baptist Van, she does it. And I'll show you those after I get them bound. It's going to be a while, probably be a winter project. But anyway, while we were up that way, we stopped at Half Moon Handworks, which is a quilt stitch whatever shop. And they just moved to their new location last spring. And I've linked it, I hope, below. And I wasn't really looking for anything, but I always try to support the local shops as much as I can. So I went into her little floss room and I found Gentle Art sampler threads. This is Midnight, and it's sort of a blue color. So I got the 3 skeins that she had, and I thought, my red sampler looks beautiful in red, but it would also look beautiful in blue. So I bought 3. Hopefully I don't need more than 3, because that's what happened the last time. So anyway, I bought that. I also found copies of Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher. I found the spring, and you don't need to see my receipt. And I found the summer. Now, I don't punch needle. It would be interesting to try, but it's not on my list of things to do right now. But there are some cute, very cute patterns in here. Here's I guess it's called a biscornu. I don't know, and I'm not really sure what the purpose is, but I'm intrigued. So maybe one of these days I'll try it. That one's by I'm not even going to try and pronounce that name. I don't want to damage anybody's name. This one, let's see. The housewives are usually in here. Let's see if I can find. Where are my housewives? Oh, Teresa from Shakespeare's Peddler. She's very, she's incredibly funny. Love her. But anyway, she has, she likes to reproduce samplers. So she has this in there, a piece of a sampler. See if I can find the housewives. Oh, I'm so pumped because Vanna, the Twisted Stitcher, Vanna Pfeiffer, in the spring issue, she has a article on how to finish a pillow, which is something I want to do. And then in the summer issue, she has an article on how to make a drum. I'm so pumped. Yeah. So anyway, that's that. So there's a lot of, it's a mix of cross stitch and punch needle. And who knows, maybe one of these days I'll try punch needle if a friend of mine has punch needle supplies and wants to loan them to me. This is the summer pattern from the Housewives. It's part of their bucket brigade. So, yeah. So anyway, I was pumped to find those. It's not something you're going to find in the magazine section of your grocery store. So, yeah. All right. Let's talk progress. Not a whole lot. Because one of the things I did this week was I cleaned. Yeah. So, actually my grandson helped me. Yeah, when he was little, he had tubes in his ears, so really loud noises bothered him. And one of those loud noises that bothered him was the vacuum cleaner. So the other day I said, well, in the morning before it got really wicked hot, even though the air is on, it still gets hot. And I said, I need to wash the kitchen floor and I need to vacuum. So I need you to pick up your Legos and blah, 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 blah. So I started vacuuming and he goes, can I do that? So he vacuumed most of the house. Now, we live in a 1950s ranch. That was my husband's grandparents. So there's not a lot of, square foot, but he vacuumed the whole thing. Blew my mind. So that occurred. But anyway, you didn't want to know all that. So let's talk progress. I finally got, even though I screwed up 4 fat quarters. 4? Yeah, I screwed up another one since we last talked. Word of advice. Don't cut fabric when you feel like garbage. I'm one of those that, and believe it or not, I always wondered if it was true, but they had a piece on the news the other night. So now it's true. Because, you believe everything on the news, right? Air pressure changes, barometric changes can give you headaches. Bingo! I had one of those the other day. Ended up sitting in my chair and sleeping all afternoon. Anyway. So I've screwed up 4 fat quarters, but I finally got all the pieces for Swoon 16 cut. I got all the fat quarters cut that I need. I'm hoping there's enough contrast. And I got all the background pieces cut. So I have all my little squares and my slightly bigger squares. And I'm so excited. Now, this is Nantucket Summer by Camille Ross Kelly. If you want any of this, run. don't walk, because some of these, they're called skews. Some of these skews are, once they're gone, they're gone. Fat Quarter Shop, I think on their video the other day, Kimberly said that they're having this white background reprinted. And because they can purchase volumes of this fabric. But once this line is gone, it's gone. And there are very few fabric lines that I go gaga over. But I just fell in love with this. I don't know why, but I would love to redo this room and take all this paneling down, which would drive my husband crazy, and put in some white beadboard on the bottom and paint the walls white, obviously to brighten it up. But to me, it's very New England beachy. I'm not a beach person, but I love that look. So anyway, that's why I fell in love with this. So that's on my list of things to do. I don't know if I'll get any work done on it before school starts, but at least it's here, and I can, sew a few pieces if I have time during school. And yeah, my productivity goes way down during school. Because I have to, gotta concentrate on school. All right, another piece of progress is my Christmas list by Silver Creek Samplers. I am using, I don't know what I don't know what the fabric is called, but it's from Fabric Flare. Now, Fabric Flare, it's more of a printed fabric than a hand-dyed fabric because the back of it's white. But anyway, it gives you that hand-dyed look, that modeled look. But the cool thing about this is it goes fast. I'm using DMC, 2 strands of DMC. I think it's a 16 count fabric, but it goes so fast. And one of the reasons it goes so fast is because of all those letters. It's like you're using one color. So anyway, working on that. Sorry, it's still in the what's that thing called? Q-snap. But it's in my Caterpillar bag. Love it, love it, love it. And yeah. And I took a piece of advice. I was watching YouTube videos about Q-snaps because I debate whether or not to get a grime guard. I always wash my hands before I stitch. So anyway, there we go. Like I said, it goes really fast, but you can see the modeling on the front, but it's white on the back. So anyway, that one's in the works. This is, if I go someplace, like if I take my grandson to the splash pad or something, this is the one I take with me, and I sit in the pavilion and he plays. But, I have to take my readers. These are Lori Holt readers. And I got the 4.0. Sucked my eyeballs out. But, I'm not going to go buy another pair, but Lori Holt readers. Because I need that little bit of magnification in my old age. So that's that. So that's one piece of progress. Progress. You gotta love progress. I'm going to be good. Put the pattern back in the plastic. Brenda, Brenda and the cereal starter would be so proud of me. All right, so that's that. I also kitted and started month to month, August. Don't know where my pattern went. It's probably out in the other room. Anyway, I put it month to month. August is by Stitching with the Housewives, and it has sunflowers in a barn. So I had my sunflower bag, and like I said, there's my progress. I got one sunflower done. Yay! Progress is progress. Well, I don't have it all done, but done. And I'm using 28 count Monaco, which is very stiff. I've never used that before. So we will see about that. But that's about it. I'm using my 11 by 11, so it doesn't really fit in my bag. I should probably make a bigger bag for it. Darn, I'm going to have to make a bag. All right, so let's see. We've talked about haul. We've talked about progress. Talked about jelly roll rugs. Let's talk about wall hangings. I'm not a wall hanging person. In fact, I make them and then I don't use them. But, so these are wall hangings, sorry about that I made for classes that I taught. And I'll show you a couple of them. One of them I made because I thought I'd hang it up in my classroom, which hasn't happened. So anyway, this is one. Well, there was a book I got, and that you use. There's a book called One Block Wonder, and it's sort of like, it's hard to explain if you're not a quilter, but it uses the stack and whack technique, sort of, kind of. But it's like I'll show it to you. I can't explain it. So anyway, this was a class I was going to teach. I don't think it flew, but anyway, it's pretty big for a wall hanging. And this is one of the only times I use batiks. It's pretty wild. And then I put the extra, if I get any further back, I put the extra on the back. So, you know, it's pretty cool. Yeah. So I don't know what I'm going to do with it. So that's that one. Let me turn you a little bit so maybe I can get back a little bit. Sorry about the jiggling. All right, that might be better. All right, so the next one I did, I used greens and blues and yellows. Sort of the same thing. So yeah, this one I quilted myself. I think I did. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. So anyway, there's my green one. Should probably refold these so they're not folded on the same creases. Okay, so then this one I did, because you know red is the best color. Let me move this lamp. And my friend Donna, who does long arming, she does freehand long arming. She's incredible. She said, how about we put a dragon on it? And if I wanted to, I could go back and put some crystals on it. I haven't done that yet. So anyway, you can see the dragon. And he's breathing fire. So yeah, she drew that dragon. I thought it was cool. So anyway. Those are about as wild and modern as I've ever gotten. I did this one. This is the one I was going to hang in my room. I haven't decided yet. It's upside down. So the fabric has the Statue of Liberty, and some of the fabric had like old stamps, and some of the fabric has text from different historical documents. And then I took a piece of the Statue of Liberty and put it on the back. So that's that. This is a Christmas wall hanging that I did. Here's the top. Makes a difference. And I used to hang it up every Christmas, but anyway. And I just, what's called echo quilting, I did that with my sewing machine. So, yeah. So I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a wall hanging person. This was a sample for a class. And I just grabbed some fabrics. So, but yeah, those are my wall hangings. So I just, like I said, I do what I want to do when I want to do it. All right, let's turn you around again. All right, so there we go. All right, so I redrew for the winner for this. Now, let's talk about giveaways. Down in the box, I've put some stipulations about how giveaways are going to run from here on. Number one, you need to be a public subscriber. So what does that mean? I can look at like right now I have over 600 subscribers, which is amazing, but not all of them are public. So in order to win a giveaway, you need to be a public subscriber. Now, what does that mean? So I put a link down there, I put information in a link on how to become a public subscriber. So that means I can see you on my list of subscribers and I can go, hey, take a look at yours. Okay. If you're not a public subscriber, I'm not going to choose you for a giveaway, or I'm not going to, I can't award you the giveaway. Okay. And I'm not the only one doing this. I had to go and make my account public in order to participate in giveaways. So what I did is I redrew and I went back to my list and I read through all of the public subscribers that are listed in my YouTube studio. And the new winner is, let me look. The new winner is Justine Dowell, who said, beautiful quilts. I'm a bit like you, disorganized. I have lots of projects. Love the fancy floss, gorgeous project bags, beautiful stitching. I enjoy your videos. I like to snack on yogurt, peanuts, and cranberries. Very yummy. So there we go. All right. So Justine, new stipulation. You have 1 week to email me. My email address is below, nabender62@gmail.com. All right. And make sure you put winner of giveaway or something like that in the subject bar. The giveaway was for this Prairie Schooler, so you could put Prairie Schooler giveaway. And we'll go from there. Okay? If I don't hear from you within a week, I'm going to put this back out or something, and we'll go from there. I'm sorry to be such a stick in the mud, but it makes my life a little bit easier. Okay? So, Justine, drop me an email. Okay? All right. So, with that being said, I think that's about it. I'm going to figure out what I'm going to work on today. Oh, another thing I bought a Juki. Yeah, we're not going to go there yet. But I got to see if it fits in this spot where my Bernina is. But anyway, so I thought about getting it set up I want to see if the other half can help me get this big board done. Um, if not, I'm not worried about it. But I'm just going to be a lump today. It's too hot to do anything. So, you all have a wonderful day. Stay cool. Get some stitching or quilting or crocheting or knitting or punch needling or rug hooking or paper crafting or whatever you do. Get it done. Okay? All right. Have a good one. Take care. Bye bye.